Good Wednesday morning and welcome to Korea Today, brought to you live from Seoul.
North Korea's top swear allegiance to Kim Jong-un at the second anniversary of the death of Kim Jong-il. Officials believed to be close to the executed Chang Song-taek are present, signaling that the latest purge has not resulted in a major reshuffle as of yet.
Seoul subway union members take a step back from staging a strike. More coming up in the headlines. And Japan unveils a new national security strategy. We'll tell you what it said about Korea's Dokdo Islets coming up on In Print. And Korea's movie industry is about to see a milestone. I'll tell you how coming up.
It has half a century of history leading Korea's medical treatment. We take you to Severance Hospital in Seoul that offers cutting-edge medical technology and patient-oriented care. Looking for some outdoor fun this winter to fight the biting cold? Tour around Seoul with us. We'll go sledding, smelt fishing, and much more in the snow on this Wednesday, December 18th, 2013.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
And a good Wednesday morning. Thank you for joining us on Korea Today.
Thank you for tuning in. Those of you who are keeping an eye on whether or not Korea will see the first same-sex marriage, it is not to be just yet. Film director Kim Jo-bang-soo and his partner Kim Seung-hwan had filed for a marriage license on the 11th of this month, but the district office in charge of this turned it down, saying Korea's civil law only recognizes the marriage to be between a man and a woman.
So currently, Korea does not recognize same-sex marriages. Well, Kim Jo-bang-soo stated through his Facebook page that there are no laws banning same-sex unions, either civil or constitutional laws, in any law book of Korea. And he said that he is going to consult with an attorney and also file a lawsuit regarding this matter.
That's right. Irrespective of where you stand on this issue, this story has garnered a lot of attention. It'll definitely be interesting to see when Korea will see the first same-sex marriage.
That's right. Coming up next is your headlines with Na Hyun-kyung.
The nation's major railway union workers continued their strike on this Wednesday, breaking the record of the longest strike ever staged by the union. But thankfully, the Seoul Subway Labor Union, which had earlier said it would also go on a strike on Wednesday, has found common ground with management. The subway union has withdrawn its plan to boycott operations of Seoul Metro lines 1 through 4, meaning the capital's commuters can breathe a sigh of relief. But the union has stressed that it still supports the railway union workers' strike and says it will not substitute for striking railway workers. The railway union strike is now into its 10th day. The nationwide rate of railway operation is said to be around 80%. As widely expected, North Korea commemorated the 2-year anniversary of the death of Kim Jong-il, Pyongyang's former leader and father of the current leader, Kim Jong-un, in a mass ceremony after executing his uncle and longtime number 2 man, Chang Song-taek. Analysts say this was a good opportunity for the young leader to show the world that he has solidified his leadership in the regime.
By serving our respected leader Kim Jong-un as the leader of our Juche ideology, our nation will prosper as the country of the eternal sun. The dear leader Kim Jong-il will live on as the son of Juche.
And that was Kim Yong-nam, the ceremonial head of state. He was seated to Kim Jong-un's right, but replacing the recently executed Chang Song-taek as the regime's second most powerful man was Choi Ryong-hae, Pyongyang's military Politburo chief, sitting right next to the leader on the other side. Now, Kim Kyung-hee, Chang's wife and the aunt of Kim Jong-un, was not there, with some saying it may be for health reasons. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-un's wife Lee Seol-ju also made a public appearance for the first time since October. Alongside Kim, she visited the Kumsusan Memorial Palace, where the bodies of Kim Jong-il as well as North Korea's founder Kim Il-sung lie in state. A South Korean lawmaker says there are signs that Pyongyang is preparing for another long-range rocket launch as well as its fourth nuclear test. Based on South Korea's intelligence, ruling party lawmaker Cho Won-jin says Pyongyang is already done preparing for a long-range missile launch and has recently expanded facilities at its nuclear test site. And Cho is not the only one warning against a provocation from across the border.
Defense Minister Kim Kwan-jin believes there's a high chance of Pyongyang engaging in an act of provocation sometime between late January and early March next year. He has ordered the military to be prepared for provocations and threats.
The ministry did not specify the sources behind its rare and detailed prediction, but Minister Kim has reportedly said because of North Korea's internal instability, the country's top brass might feel the need to prove their loyalty to Kim Jong-un by engaging in provocative acts towards Seoul. Dongyang Group Chairman Hyun Jae-hyun faced prosecutors' questions for the second day in a row on Tuesday. Hyun, whose company ranks in the top 50 Korean firms by assets, is accused of issuing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of commercial papers to investors, even when he knew his company was unable to pay back its debts. Almost 50,000 investors are said to have been affected by the group's default. The prosecution is also investigating whether Hyun authorized unfair loans worth more than $1.4 billion to the group's near-insolvent subsidiaries. Based on the two-day questioning session, prosecutors say they will decide whether to request an arrest warrant for Hyun.
And good morning, everyone. Time for a look through your newspaper headlines. Front and center is the ceremony out of North Korea, marking the second anniversary of late leader Kim Jong-il's death. Gyeongyang Shinmun, as you can see, has a big image of Kim Jong-un, flanked by his wife Ri Sol-ju and his first line of command at Kumsusan Memorial Palace in this picture. The headline below it reads, "Revised power structure on display. Kim Jong-un, the one and only leader," in quotes there. That's the sentiment that ceremonial head of state Kim Yong-nam made clear at the anniversary ceremony not attended by Ri Sol-ju. He's seen there to Kim Jong-un's left. The day's events further displayed Vice Marshal Choi Ryong-hae's upgraded status. As you can see, he's very close to the center there. He sat right next to the young leader as opposed to 2 seats over a year ago. Also spotted at the platform were Cho Yeon-jun and Kim Won-hong, who the paper says had led the execution of Chang Sung-taek. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our next daily. Joseon-ilbo's headline, meanwhile, reads, "Second anniversary event of Kim Jong-il's death becomes the site of Kim Jong-un idolization." And the image has a series of capture of the young leader at the anniversary ceremony broadcast live by Korean Central Television, whose gaze appears a bit unfocused, hair a bit disheveled, eyebrows shorter, and posture tilted. Some of the notes made there in the caption. Now let's go ahead and turn to 중앙일보 now for some news coming out of Japan. The headline, we'll go ahead and take a look at this side story. 중앙일보's headline reads, "Japan opens door to independent use of armed force. First post-war security strategy determined." Now, the new national security strategy stipulates a 5-year medium-term plan to strengthen Japan's military or self-defense forces by boosting spending for drones, fighter jets, and naval destroyers to counter the threats from a rising China. Now, the new strategy will reportedly earmark an additional $230 billion for the buildup, and additionally, it included provisions that it could revise its ban on exporting weapons and also grow its capacity to strike an enemy station such as North Korea. It also included mention of the Korea-controlled Dokdo Islets, that it would, quote, "peacefully resolve the territorial disputes over Dokdo while emphasizing Tokyo's sovereignty." And wrap with a look at our final daily for today, the Korea Economic Daily. The headline reads, as father did 34 years ago, President Park Geun-hye says invest proactively. Now, the picture shows President Park Geun-hye participating in the ribbon cutting ceremony at the opening of the new FKI headquarters, flanked by LG Chairman Koo Bon-moo and FKI and GS Chairman Ho Chang-soo to her right and left, respectively. The Federation of Korean Industries is, of course, the country's biggest business lobby. And at the dedication ceremony, the president urged the big business leaders to rouse their entrepreneurial spirit and actively invest and create jobs in the midst of the recovery trend that is slowly being seen here in Korea. The article adds the visit also holds meaning in that it fulfills a promise that her father, the late President Park Chung-hee, was unable to keep 34 years ago. He failed to attend FKI's then dedication ceremony as he was assassinated some 22 days earlier. And with that, we'll wrap your look at what's in print on this Wednesday. Next up are your closing numbers from Tuesday's market action.
Time now to get a check on the weather conditions in and around Seoul.
That's right. We are expecting some snow in the mountainous regions around the peninsula. We'll see what's in store for Seoul. We join Tommy in Mapogu. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm reporting live from Mapogu, Seoul. Now, this morning here in Seoul, conditions are much more milder than yesterday. Temperatures right now are at 0.4 degrees Celsius. And as the day progresses, our temperatures will only be on the rise. It looks like today seems like a fine day to enjoy the outside conditions in the afternoon. However, we won't be able to bask under the sun as we will be seeing mostly partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Now, over in Gangwon-do is where there are heavy snow watches that are being issued. There will be quite a bit of snow piling up of about 20 centimeters or more. So please be cautious if you are in those areas. Now, as for tomorrow here in Seoul, the cold snap is going to return along with strong and gusty winds, making it quite unbearable and very cold. So do prepare yourselves for that. Also, we may receive just a bit of snow in the afternoon sometime or during maybe in the morning as well. But like I said, it'll only be a little, piling up to about 5 centimeters or less. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at our mercury levels around the nation. Here in Seoul, highs will reach up to 4, Daejeon and Daegu at 7, Gangneung the coldest at 3, Busan and Gwangju at 8, Jeju Island warmest at 9 degrees. That's all I have for the weather for today. I'll be back in the latter half to introduce to you a place that is very eco-friendly.
So how many movies have you watched this year? The Korean film industry has seen an explosive number of moviegoers this year and has a new record in sight. To tell us more about this, we have Connie Lee joining me in the studio. Good morning, Connie.
Good morning. Yes, for the first time in Korea, the number of tickets sold is expected to hit 200 million sometime this week. And right now, I checked this morning, and the number stands at 199,980,000 tickets sold.
So close.
So we're a bit shy, but it is expected to hit sometime during the weekday. Mm-hmm. And so what is some of your favorite movies from this past year? Got one or maybe a couple?
A couple, I would say.
A couple? Well, you might be surprised that the most popular movies of this past year in Korea were in fact mostly the ones made right here at home. Let's take a look.
엄마 아팠어요. 내 머리 컸어.
From the comedic and romantic to the more dramatic and thrilling. No matter the genre, more Koreans are watching movies these days. So just how many did they watch at the theaters this year?
5개 정도 본 것 같아요.
2014년도에는 영화 2편밖에 안 봤어요.
10편 정도.
1년이면 한 20편, 25편.
According to recent numbers, each person in Korea watched an average of 4 movies at the theaters in 2013. This figure comes from the Korean Film Council, which said that the number of movie tickets sold in 2013 is expected to reach 200 million this week. So, by the end of this year, it'll surpass that number, posting a new record for Korea.
By the end of 2013, we predict that about 210 million tickets will have been sold. That's a 10% increase from the year before, and globally by comparison, that's a lot of tickets sold. The French are known to watch a lot of movies. They watch an average of 3 movies a person. But the fact that Koreans watched an average of 4 a year, that's a lot.
Both Korean films and foreign ones have attracted the nearly 200 million people to the theaters this year.
I tend to watch more foreign films. The Korean films nowadays tend to have K-pop singers in starring roles, but in foreign films, more veteran actors in the lead.
I like Korean films more. My eyesight is bad, so I can't see the subtitles in foreign films anyway.
And he's not the only one watching more Korean films. Nearly 60% of the total box office sales were for the homegrown films.
The quality of Korean films has increased incredibly. And not only did we have a lot of good local films this year, we had a lot of unexpectedly successful ones. More Koreans look to domestic films because they want to hear stories that are more familiar to them and see people that are similar to them. Korean films these days are becoming more watchable.
And looking at the top 10 movies this year, 8 of them were domestic. And the highest grossing film of 2013 in Korea was Miracle in cell number 7, which drew in more than 12.8 million viewers.
The 200 million ticket milestone is very significant because it shows that the Korean movie industry has the potential to expand and grow even more. In the future, we can expect more co-productions and even more Korean directors working overseas.
And the clip you saw there is a behind-the-scenes look of the movie Snowpiercer with Korean director Bong Joon-ho and his leads Chris Evans and Tilda Swinton. And film critic Chun Chun-il says that more films like that, which includes an international co-production team, should be in the works in the near future for the Korean movie industry to grow.
And Snowpiercer is categorized as a Korean film.
Right, exactly. What categorizes a Korean film versus a foreign film is that if a movie is done by a Korean production company, then it is considered a Korean film, right. No matter who distributes it or funds it. It depends on the production company.
Okay. So any other factors that experts say that helped Korean film industry to see the 200 million mark of moviegoers?
Well, experts do point to a better environment for people to watch movies here in Korea. Not only are there plenty of multiplex theaters all around the nation, there are also more options. There are more IMAX, 3D, and 4D theaters.
4Ds are good.
Right, and also just the regular movies are ticketed at budget-friendly costs, about $8. So experts say that it makes people to go watch movies easily. The experts also mentioned the change in demographics with moviegoers, with more older people going to the theaters these days. Before it was more of a 20s to 30s thing, but now it's more of a 40s, 50s, 60s going to the theaters for leisure.
Right. So and that number is expected to grow in the near future as well. I mean, my parents also, they never went to watch a movie, but nowadays I see them going out and enjoying movies here and there. So I think that's a change, right?
Right, and the trend is expected to continue. As mentioned in the report, reaching the 200 million mark is only a 10% increase from last year. But it is a milestone because it puts Korea on the map as a good market for movies. So film critics do mention that we could see possible big productions, like big blockbusters coming to Korea to shoot right here in the nation.
All right, so we probably will be able to see some films located in Seoul and have Seoul as the major background of the movie. So maybe we'll
maybe in the near future.
Yeah, in the near future. Thank you, Connie, for your report today. And jumping from high-quality movies to high-quality protein, Korean beef Hanwoo offers a much-needed boost to your health in the winter. With its beautiful texture and mouth-watering flavor, Hanwoo is a favorite for many. Chef Andreas Krampel joins us to stir up two, not one, but two scrumptious dishes.
We're now approaching the middle of winter, and so we don't have to worry so much about mosquitoes anymore. But normally in the summer, they're a great nuisance. But this year, with the scorching heat and some heavy rains, we were free from mosquitoes until the fall. That's when we really had mosquitoes, and they were annoying the heck out of us.
Yes, that's right. Pesky creatures they are. So where do they seek refuge during the winter? Well, urbanization has given them places to seek refuge and group throughout the cold winter months. We'll take a look at where they are and how they are being exterminated. 2 hours south of Seoul in Cheonan in Chungcheongnam-do. City employees are working around the clock, even in this cold winter season, to prevent and eliminate the spread of mosquitoes.
Before the spring season arrives, there is a 50% chance that mosquitoes will breed in sewers during the winter. If we don't prevent them now, you'll see a significant increase in mosquitoes starting March.
Mosquitoes normally are most active during summer, around July and August. But these days, they stay active all year round. It's partly due to global warming, but mostly to urbanization and heating systems around the city, giving mosquitoes a shelter.
유충. 이게 목 유충인데 이렇게 지금 많이 서식을 하고 있어요. 이거 잡아야지.
One of the biggest reasons mosquitoes are active in the winter these days is because they're adopting to septic tanks and sewer systems in the city. These so-called basement mosquitoes may not be able to feed, but are able to breed. So even the smallest spaces become breeding grounds. As the temperature rises, they can enter our homes as well.
So even in sub-zero temperatures, health departments in different districts are carrying out special mosquito extermination operations, which will continue until next March. Here at this district health center, they are taking preventative measures against mosquitoes all year round. And these are some of the methods they are using.
We have been actively eliminating mosquitoes during the winter season. Since 2010, as environmental issues came to light, we have been using eco-friendly fumigation chemicals. Since then, we've cut the number of mosquitoes in half. We will continue to eliminate mosquitoes and work towards preventing the spread of disease.
To effectively eliminate as many mosquitoes as possible, they are using a combination of traps and sensors to calculate their exact numbers. Also, in recent years, they have been using eco-friendly methods, such as utilizing the mosquito's natural enemy, the mudfish, into city sewers and streams.
On average, a mudfish eats 1,100 mosquito larvae a day, and it's very effective and a favored way of preventing the spread of mosquitoes.
Winter is the perfect season to eradicate mosquitoes, as they tend to seek refuge and are only active in limited areas where they're easier to trap with minimal chemical supplies and labor.
목이 있네. 조기도 있네. 조기. 저 앉아 있네.
I don't know if it's due to the global warming, but mosquitoes are very active during the winter as well. It's very annoying because I get bitten.
Mosquitoes are cold-blooded insects, so when temperatures drop in the winter, it's difficult for them to survive. They find perfect breeding grounds like the warm and humid machine rooms in building basements or sewers. They breed by laying eggs or staying dormant as larvae during the winter.
In Korea, mosquito larvae are called jangu bolle. The effect of eliminating one of these now is equivalent to getting rid of 500 mosquitoes in the summer, so it's very important to exterminate mosquitoes in the winter.
Mosquitoes thrive in temperatures around 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. During winter, sewers maintain fair humidity levels and an average temperature of 14.6 degrees, which is why these places attract so many mosquitoes. Another effective way to control mosquitoes is through eco-friendly chemical agents that infect and kill larvae before they grow into mosquitoes.
This is an eco-friendly pest control chemical. The treatment is highly effective and has no negative consequences on the ecology and is safe for humans.
Using these various methods, pest control teams around Korea will be working around the clock to exterminate and prevent the breeding of mosquitoes this winter.
We're coming to an end of our 10-week series on medical tourism, and our last installment on Medical Korea, we're going to take you to the Korean hospital that is arguably the most popular among foreign patients.
It is considered the leader of medical tourism. It's the Severance Hospital. Now, Severance Hospital has been chosen as the best international hospital by the American Medical Tourism Association as well. So we'll take a look at Severance Hospital.
Sinchon, Seodaemungu in Seoul is where the Severance Hospital, one of Korea's most symbolic general hospitals, is located. Unlike its ultra-modern exterior, a deep history lies beyond the walls of this hospital. With the support of a missionary, it was built as Korea's first general hospital in 1904, so the history of Severance Hospital is over 100 years old. The International Healthcare Center opened up in 1962 and has since been responsible for the health and well-being of foreigners residing in Korea for over half a century. To foreigners, this place is like a familiar and comfortable hospital back home.
I grew up in this area, and so I'm familiar with this hospital. Dr. Linton has been my doctor for many years, so it's what I know, it's what I trust. So.
Since 1991, Dr. John A. Linton has never gone a day without seeing all of the incoming patients at the center.
And have you seen somebody here in the hospital?
I have orthopedics.
I see.
But I think I need to see somebody in spinal.
Back when services for foreign patients was unheard of, Severance Hospital was already treating them and has worked to develop customized services.
The staff here has been wonderful. Never any problems if you do. There's always someone to talk to try to work out the issue. So very helpful.
In 1991, when we began actively taking care of foreigners, especially living in Seoul, when I first started, there was like 1 or 2 patients a day. And now we are seeing over 200 per day, more than 50,000 in a year. So the change has been, the demand for care for foreigners has gone up exponentially.
Every year, numerous foreigners are receiving a second chance at life here. Kaufan Al-Gaidi, who flew several thousand kilometers all the way from the United Arab Emirates, is also getting a fresh start at this hospital.
I was diagnosed with a brain tumor back home, but they weren't certain of the exact type. So I requested for a second consultation overseas, which led me to Severance Hospital today. It's been a month since my surgery.
After receiving a prognosis for a brain tumor, Al-Gaidi decided to receive surgery in Korea. Finally, this past October, he underwent a 12-hour surgery to remove his brain tumor, and he is now free from it.
외래에서는 매일매일 재활 치료를 할 건 아니니까 왔다 갔다 운동하고 신경 기능은 대개 한 6개월 1년까지도 회복이 되기 때문에 지금 한지 며칠 됐지 지금 오늘이? 36일 한 달 조금 지난 상태라서 지금 회복 속도가 이제 빨라가지고 앞으로 더 좋아지실.
This is the proud and happy moment his family and the medical staff have been waiting for. Staying 2 months in a foreign country is not easy, but to be a hospitalized patient is even more so. Al-Ghaidi says what helped him recover the most is his meals.
As you know, our culture has many dietary restrictions. I was worried about food before I came, but they provide good halal meals. I'm very happy that I can eat similar delicious foods I did back home.
For long-term foreign patients, the Severance Hospital operates a separate dietetics department dedicated to preparing foreign meals. It pays special attention to special dietary needs such as halal meals for Middle Eastern patients such as Al-Ghaidi.
This is certified halal meat. Pork is entirely forbidden, so we only use certified halal chicken, beef, and lamb. All of our ingredients are halal certified.
Meal consumption is an important part of the healing process. From choosing ingredients, dishes, and preparing the food, the Department of Dietetics customizes meals according to the patient's religion, nationality, and illness.
In the hospital, the food is not simply a meal. Not only should it taste good, we check for ingredients they cannot consume, and most of all, provide a balanced meal. We take pride in our hospital meals for providing a balanced diet.
After the meal, it's time for physical therapy. Al-Ghaidi experienced partial paralysis on the right side of his body. But his brother is amazed that Khalfan is now able to move his body after brain surgery and considers this 2-month stay a blessing.
Before treatment, the right side of my brother's body was paralyzed, so he was unable to walk or talk. Now he's able to walk, exercise, and talk, so everything is surprising, and I'm very grateful.
The quality of Severance Hospital's medical techniques are world-class. In 2005, they built an additional ultra-modern hospital wing and added many state-of-the-art equipment as well. The Robot and MIS Center is the future of Severance Hospital, which will further advance the Severance brand as a world-renowned household name.
Today we are performing surgery on early-stage prostate cancer. Previously, the operation required laparotomy or laparoscope operation, but now we perform robot-assisted surgeries.
Since performing the first successful robot-assisted surgery in Korea in 2005, this hospital has performed over 1,000 surgeries, mainly for cancer a year. Earlier this year, it became the first hospital in Asia to conduct over 10,000 robot-assisted surgeries. Having state-of-the-art equipment is important, but more important is the expert hands of the doctors that control the robot. From stomach cancer, thyroid cancer, prostate cancer, and much more, across various medical fields, the surgical methods performed at Severance Hospital are now being recognized as the industry's standard for robot-assisted surgery.
By using robots, we can minimize the incision and bleeding. This shortens the overall surgical time, which is better for the patients. As a surgeon, we feel less stress and use less physical energy. If previously we could only perform 2 or 3 laparotomies, now we can help more patients by performing more than 6 robot-assisted surgeries a day.
Korea holds outstanding medical skills across various fields and rich tourism infrastructure. Whether it be beauty, health, or healing, Korea's medical tourism aims to provide various services to satisfy everyone's need.
that is some top-notch medical services and 5-star hotel-like treatment that you can get at the Severance Hospital. But we're at the end of this 10-week series on medical tourism. But when we first began, we said we thought Korea and medical tourism, most people think of plastic surgery and other aesthetics-related services, but we really, through these reports, got to find out that Korea has a lot more to offer, especially traditional medicine, as well as hair implants, spinal treatments, obesity treatments, and much more.
I mean, medical tourism industry is designated as one of the government's leading industries, and it will likely receive more support for further development. So who knows what the next step will be for the Korean medical tourism industry.
That's right, but step forward is all that it has left to go, I would believe. Now, if you want more information about medical tourism and our 10-part series, then you can always search it through YouTube and find out all the information that you need on YouTube. All right. And from medical tourism, I'm sure if you go tour somewhere, if you're a tourist in a certain destination, you want to try the food. One of the best foods here in Korea, especially at the end of the year and the end of the year season, would be gogi, right? And that's one of my favorites as well. And out of all the gogis
also
out there,
known as meat in English.
That's right, meat, right? Korean barbecue, you name it, right? But hanwoo is Korean beef, which tastes even better. Chef Andreas Krompel has some hanwoo dishes for us. Good morning, Chef.
Good morning.
Good morning. One of the other jewels in Korean kitchen, hanwoo beef. Yeah, fantastic beef, I must say. All around the world, I compare different beefs, and when I came to Korea first, I never really experienced hanwoo beef before, and fantastic meat. So to do it, 2 simple dishes. I make one traditional Korean. I made the dakgalbi, what is a beef rib cut. I actually take the hanwoo beef. You can see the nice marbleization of the beef there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the meat off the bone, and there's 2 ways of doing it. Once, if you have a mincer, then the modern way you mince it up in a mincer. If not, you do it hand chopped. Hand chopped is actually more, it will be much, much better.
And time consuming, but...
Then second thing, I'm going to clean the bone and actually just quickly boil them for a few minutes in water so it keeps nice and white. So this is the basic 2 preparations. If you're lucky, your butcher can do that for you already. So, so what I've done, I minced the meat earlier. Now I'm going to spice it up. There's a few simple ingredients. I have a little bit of rice wine, so I'm adding a few spoons of that. I have a little bit of soya sauce. Then we put, of course, a little bit of sesame oil, some minced or chopped garlic, what I did earlier, and a little bit sugar to sweeten it up. Then I have some chopped ingredients. I have some pine nuts there to give it a little bit of a bite. Some chopped spring onion and chopped leek. And that's pretty much your basic marinade. You can vary it a little bit if you want. You add a bit more of these, a bit more of that, and that's it. So I'm going to mix it all up.
Out of all the meats in the world, I think Koreans swear by hanwoo the most, and they can't get enough of it, it seems like.
Yes, actually one of the top meats. As I said, I experience a lot of meats around the world. Come to Korea, it's one of my favorites now as well. So every time we go out barbecue, we'll try to get some of that delicious beef. So that's pretty much it. Your mix is done. Now I'm going to put it back on the bone, pretty much using my hands. Or your spoon.
So you're going to put it back on the bone?
Okay.
Yeah, put it back on the bone, and then we cook it on the bone.
How do you get it to stay on the bone?
You actually can dust a little bit flour onto the bone.
Okay. To give it a sticky texture there, but it makes you wonder why you take it off the bone in the first place, right?
Well, you got to mince it up.
It's to mince it up, really, and it looks beautiful, and it has actually a better taste when it's cooked on the bone. I believe any meat what is cooked on the bone has a really delicious taste, and that's pretty much it. So you form it up, and it looks like this after. So we'll cook some for you in a minute. You will come over and taste it. Now another delicious way of preparing a beef and not cooking it and having the natural flavor is just making a tartare, French preparation of raw beef tartare, but it's a little bit different than the Korean version. So what I've done earlier, I used some tenderloin. You can use strip loin or any other lean cut. There's hardly any fat around it, but you see the nice marbling of the fat in the beef. That's really the delicious taste of the hanwoo beef. And very simple ingredients as well for this one. We'll start off with the beef, of course.
But I would think the freshness of the beef would be key for that dish. I mean, do you have any tips for our viewers on how to choose?
Not necessarily the freshness, because if the beef is too fresh, it's also not very good.
Ooh,
So
okay.
normally, a beef is like 2 or 3 weeks aged like this. What I normally look at is having that the fat is nice, white and marbled, so it's not so yellow. That the beef is dry and not so shiny. So this is a premium cut of a beef, what I would look at. And it's a natural color. You don't want to have it too red or have juice in the packet. So I think this is the way to look for when you buy beef.
Okay, so what else is there to do on the tartare?
Okay, we have the chopped beef. Then we put some onions. We put some Dijon mustard, or if you don't like that, you can do a grain mustard. Then we use some chopped gherkins or cornichons with some parsley in that. Some caper berries, you can chop them, leave them whole. Very important, a little bit Tabasco to spice things up.
Oh.
So a few drops of the Tabasco. Some people like it more spicy, some people less.
That's me.
And what we use in the previous shows as well,
More
some
spicy.
Worcester sauce, what gives it a more depth flavor to it.
Worcester and Tabasco. Wow, all right. So that's a good mix.
And to make it all nice and creamy up, I'm going to put an egg yolk in there just to mix it up. And that's
All
your
right.
basic French tartare.
Sounds great. Okay, we're going to have the finished product later
Yes.
on our program.
Yes.
Thank you for that. We'll come back to you. And still ahead on Korea Today, we're going to be looking at some spots in Seoul. Peter Bint will be joining us later on to introduce some of the winter activities that you can enjoy, whether it be in a field of snow or a rink of ice next to a hot fire. We show you how to have fun in the mega capital. And Peter Bint has all that and more coming up for us.
Alrighty, good Wednesday morning to you all as we kick things off in the world of football. Now, remember the first time I saw Park Ji-sung play back in 2000 when he played in Japan for the Kyoto Purple Sanga, and what do you know, it's almost been 14 years since then. But according to his father, we might only have about a year and a half until he retires from the sport. Now, his father, who's always been very vocal about his son's career, has come out in a recent interview stating that he won't be playing more than a year and a half. And if that holds true, Park Ji-sung will retire from the sport in June of 2015. The PSV midfielder will be 34 years old in 2015, will be retiring at a young age as fans wonder what he'll do after his retirement. And moving on with the kind of success that speed skater Lee Sang-hwa has seen in 2013, it's no surprise that she was named the MBN Best Female Athlete of 2013. Now, on Tuesday, during an awards ceremony celebrating the female athletes here in the nation, the 24-year-old speed skater received the highest honors. Now, Lee, who won 7 gold medals and set 4 world records during the 500-meter events this year, is headed to Sochi, hoping to continue her success in 2013 over to 2014. And now moving on to some Tuesday night's KBL action. We had one game that took place last night, so let's take a look at the Jeonju KCC Aegis take on the Seoul Samsung Thunders. Now, first quarter of the game, Samsung off to a nice start as they take a 17-14 lead, but KCC rallies back in the second quarter despite Lee Dong-jun's 16 points in the first half as they go into halftime with a slim 34-32 lead. But the third quarter of the game, KCC goes absolutely insane, outscoring Samsung 39-16 in the third, including Park Young-sang, who puts up 15 points in the quarter. Samsung tries to rally back in the fourth quarter, but the deficit is too big as KCC cruises through 91-71. And now finishing things off in the V-League as GS Caltex dominated Hyundai Hillstate 3-0 over on the women's side. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Uricard take on KEPCO Vicstorm over on the men's side. Of course, the 5th place KEPCO Vicstorm off to a great start here as they take the first 2 sets 25-23 and 25-20. Needing one more set win to upset the 2nd place Uricard, but that doesn't come easy as Uricard comes back with a 25-22 third set win and a 25-22 fourth set win. And the 5th set of the game with 5 different players scoring in the double digits, Uricard comes back 2 sets down to beat KEPCO in the 5th set 15-12, winning in a dramatic fashion 3-2. Well, it's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great rest of the day and see you guys again for your sports needs.
The end of the year is fast approaching. And as we look back to all the happenings of 2013, What are some moments or events that stand out? Well, we want to know. So send us your pictures or videos of this past year to Korea Today at arirang.co.kr, and we could possibly select them and show them on air on December 31st. Include your name, brief description of what you're sending, including the city and country of where your photo or video was taken. The deadline is December 29th, so send your captured moments soon.
And be sure to share those photos with us, Arirang, Korea Today at arirang.co.kr, and look at our chef go with that tteokgalbi. And that really is a tteokgalbi.
It'll take a few minutes.
Okay, we'll check back in with you later on in the show. Now, let's go back to our Dami, who is going to try her hand at eco-driving.
That's right. Fuel efficiency at its best. Dami teaches you how to do it. Dami, over to you.
Back to you.
I'm back reporting live from Mapogu, Seoul at the Seoul Energy Dream Center. Now, this is a place where visitors can learn about eco-friendly energy and also be educated on how to save energy as well. This building is quite self-reliant. It was established by the Seoul Metropolitan Government as the nation's first zero-energy building. So what exactly does this mean? Now, zero-energy buildings don't need energy in an all-year balance consideration. Such as the formation of the building helps out with this. Now, the slanted exterior walls help with insulation, which controls the amount of solar radiation. The triple pane windows help strengthen the heating system. It is quite warm in here. There are also automatic regulated light systems and many more. So this building was planned to planned out so that it saves 84% more energy than regular buildings would. So every month the electricity bill comes out to 0.1. So really the electricity bill is not necessary at all. Now, like I said, like Minjung and Yang mentioned, I'm going to try out an experience program that visitors can try out. There are many, but the one that I'm going to try out is the eco-friendly driving experience program. Now, when it comes to driving, there are a couple of bad habits that we have, such as speeding or accelerating and pressing on the pedal very abruptly with a lot of force. Now, on the screen, right now it's red, but as I drive, it turns green, which shows that I am driving eco-friendly. But let's say if I press on the pedal abruptly, then it turns red. So it goes to show, and it teaches you how to drive eco-friendly. Now, at the end of this test, it does show you how effectively about the level of fuel efficiency, and it does compare how much more you can save compared to regular driving. So when it comes to saving energy, there are many different ways that we can use this in our daily lives, such as the cold weather these days. We can reduce the usage of our heating systems. For me personally, I like to take out the power plugs whenever I don't use a product, and I like to use the stairs if I can. So these small actions, they turn into strong and good habits that not only save energy, but also saves the environment. That's all I have for now. I'm Idami, Korea Today.
The winter break is just around the corner here in Korea. The kids are excited and looking forward to it. The parents are dreading it a little bit because there aren't enough places, or they've run out of places to take your kids to. And Peter Bin joins us with some answers to that.
Yes, good morning. I'm here to be your hero, okay? I'm going to introduce you to some winter activities that you can enjoy actually here in Seoul. So it's great for parents and kids alike. And last Saturday actually marked the opening of ice skating rinks and sledding parks here in Seoul. And many families and children have been waiting for this for a long time. So I'm going to take you to some places where you can enjoy some winter fun. This is the Korean Children's Center Snow Sledding Field. All year long, they offer various programs for children, and each winter they hold a special festival.
You know, kids love this.
Yes, they do. They love just rolling around in the snow and riding down those sleds.
Yes, as soon as the whistle blows by the safety instructor, they all come down to the finish line. The 120-meter long main slope is very popular with tubes.
I've been on those things. They're surprisingly fast.
Right, they pick up speed as you go along.
The thrill of sledding fast down the slopes attracts both children and adults like Young, who come down again and again.
Yeah, and it's fast. It's faster than I thought it would
There you
be,
go.
but it was really good. And my daughter went down first, and she kind of spun around a lot, which I think she liked. And then I went down and kind of turned around halfway down, so I was a little not sure where I would end up, but I ended up right where she was, so that was good.
There's also an 80-meter long slope, which is more gentle for toddlers. Here they can ride safely with the help of their caretakers.
I came across this place while I was searching for a nearby sleighing park around Seoul. I like that it's only 30 minutes away.
Near the snow sledding field, there's also a traditional ice sledding rink, as well as bungee trampoline, mini bike cars, and more to enjoy, so many families come here often.
Well, those look fun.
Like bumper cars on ice. And children can also experience a slice of nature. This is the Smelt Fishing Pond at the Children's Centre.
Not the natural,
No,
the most
it's not
natural
natural.
way of catching fish, I
But
must say.
they travel in large schools, so all you need is a little fishing net and you can scoop them up.
I'm catching smelt and it's really cool.
It's really simple and easy to do, even for kids with a dipping net and a bucket, and the children will soon become experts.
Those are pingo, right?
Delicious.
It's the first winter since my child was born. It's his first time standing in the snow and catching smelt fish, so we're very happy.
First time seeing snow.
And this place where you can enjoy skating is the Kangam-chan ice skating rink, and it's named after a famous Goryeo dynasty general, Kangam-chan, from over 1,000 years ago. It first opened its doors last year, and with less than $3, visitors can rent skates and enjoy a spin on the ice. The rink is located near an elementary school, so children can easily enjoy some winter fun.
Although it's cold, it's always fun to skate.
The ice rink was built on land that's 5,500 square meters wide, which is 1.5 times larger than the skating rink at Seoul Plaza. It can hold up to 800 skaters at a time.
Wow. Some bonding time with Dad.
It's convenient for me to come with my family since the skating rink is located within Seoul.
Ice rinks are only one of the special places you can enjoy in the winter though. There's also a snack bar where you can enjoy delicious rice cake snacks, tteokbokki, and fish cakes called omuk as you warm your body. The snacks cost between just $1 to $5, so it's very cheap. There's also a hidden attraction here that you can't find at other ice rinks. It's this wood furnace where you can roast your own sweet potatoes.
The old style.
Yes. You can almost smell it. If it weren't for all the meat that's barbecued with Andreas.
Coming here is fun because I get to skate and cook sweet potatoes myself.
Winter, the season of snow and ice, so how about enjoying some fun and convenient winter activities right here in Seoul?
Those are some loving moms and dads we saw in the report. Will you look forward to the winter break now?
I will have to look forward to it.
Now that you have some ideas.
I'm sorry, Peter. To be totally honest, I was very distracted with how Chef Andreas was cooking up the beef, and my eyes were just
focused
glued to the beef.
It's just one of those days where Andreas just stole your thunder. But,
Me too. I can't resist the smell of the
well, thank you for that report, Peter.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, we're going to have to go over there, back to Andreas, and to see what is going on and what has been
I have so many good friends now in the
accomplished.
studio. You bring some nice simple ingredients in. And
My goodness, it smells fabulous.
so they still take a little while because They're on the bone, so they take a few more minutes to cook. What you can do, of course, you don't need to use the bone. You just make them up without the bone. You make them into little patties, and then you can go ahead. So.
Thank you. Wow.
Chopstick.
This would be a great snack for kids, especially because all the meat is minced.
All right.
It's easier for them to
grab.
All right, which one should we try first?
This one, maybe.
And then on the tartar is the easiest, really putting it onto a baguette.
Look at this.
Okay.
Wow, it's like yuke, but on a baguette.
Yes.
It's a very interesting interpretation of raw meat. Now, I'm going to try the tartar.
All right, go for it.
Go ahead.
In the meantime, I'll try the tteokbari.
It's very hot, just came from the pan.
Mmm.
So on this one,
You are right. I mean, we can't get enough of hanul.
Does it melt in your mouth, Kyunggyang?
Yes, I have to chew, but yes, it's almost as if it is melting.
Wow.
Well, you know, Andreas, his cooking is always fabulous. And you know what? You explain all the steps so you can just do this at home. It sounds so easy.
You can
Very
cut it
simple,
into
very
biteable sizes too, like that. Bite
Better for
sizes.
children, yeah?
Okay. All right. So I'm going to pop it in your mouth.
All right.
So you can enjoy some snack. All right. Well, thank you, Andreas, again,
Thank
and
you.
all of this. All right. Okay. That brings us to the end of this edition of Korea Today.
Okay, while we enjoy our barbecue, we'll say goodbye to our viewers. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
bye.
This is fabulous.